I started volunteering for the club, I would say, when I was about 12 years old. So my dad he ran an unofficial Dundee site and the club got promoted in 1998. He used to phone the front office and ask to speak to the manager, and that's how he got put straight through the manager, and you ask him who's injured and stuff. When we got promoted in 98, he got a phone call from the chief exec at the time. The owner of the club was the chief exec. He phoned him and said, do you want to come on board and do the official website? So from the age of 10, I was in press boxes all over the country. In 2010, my dad stepped aside from being website editor, but he said to the chief exec at the time, he was a different guy, he said that I think that Tommy should do it, and the chief exec was like, yeah, definitely, that's what we would want as well. I was a website editor as a volunteer, so I would work Monday to Friday, and then I would come to every game. I think I missed 2 games in 5 years when I was a website editor, and then when the club got promoted again, I contacted the club and said, would there be any kind of position for like a full-time one to come in. Straight away Paul was bought into it, and then the club on the other side said that they would be happy to go with it as well. Full on ever since. Most of the volunteers that we have had are big Dundee fans, so they get something back from it in terms of there's various things that they can get back from it. We've had younger ones that have gone on and got jobs elsewhere. We've got people at the moment that are wanting to showcase what they can do. And then we've got people that are huge Dundee fans that they get access to things that you would never get as a supporter. That's the thing I liked about it. Well, I liked helping the club first and foremost, but after the games you're interviewing players, so you're speaking to players, you're doing certain things. I know the volunteers that we have, they still get a buzz off if a player asks them for something, or if they can help a player out some way and they can do that. So the ones we've had so far are a complete mixed bag. So my dad is an easy recruit. He's already in place anyway. The person that does our match reports, James Christie, he used to do match reports for one of the unofficial pages. It was on a forum actually. I think he just posted them on the forum. The other volunteers that we've got to do the commentary for our club media TV channel, Ethan and Craig, over the past year and a bit.
Well, it all started with the Dundee's Facebook page. They had posted that they had a vacancy in their social media team, and at the time I would have been 17 years old, and I thought, you know what, that'd be brilliant. I'd love to do that. I've never had any experience in commentary before. I can still remember my debut getting a bit of stage fright. I don't normally get stage fright. I've had experience with public speaking and even a bit of acting up on stage, so it was definitely something different, but it's something that I love to do, and hence why I still do it to this day. I do have other roles depending on who's around on the match day or not. Our club historian Kenny Ross tends to do the interviews, the post-match interviews with the gaffer or the player that's picked from the press. But when he's not here, that duty falls solely onto me, and I quite like that. I get to write down questions about the match and get to list yourself afterwards on DTV. It's just still all surreal to do everything. It's not all the time I get to lead the interviews, but when I do, I do take a lot of pride in it.
So I think the volunteers is a massive part of the whole operation. There's a lot of clubs around the country that have more than one media person, but I still see that a lot of them use volunteers, which I think is good. Like I say, I started as a volunteer for years and years, and it's because you love the club that you're doing it. I never thought there'd be a job at the other side of it.